Good afternoon. I'm Tobey Woolfe from IBM, and I'm going to be covering on the IBM point of view on Industry 4, which is oftentimes about joining these things together. And it's a very technical challenge to get the data from the machines and to do something useful with it. We're leading the industry in terms of our ability to create predictive value from the data from these things, but so what? I want to address the problem that Mr. Morawiecki mentioned this morning, your finance minister, who raised a very important fear that the impact of mechanization on industry will be replacing people with machines. That is a risk to actually all of us, because I think we're knowledge workers. So I want to really focus this and give you a couple of case studies on how we're addressing that specific point. We believe, IBM believes, and I personally believe, that if we can enable people in a knowledge industry, such as manufacturing, to work more efficiently, to work more effectively using information, they will never be replaced by a machine. So how are we going to do that? That's where the case studies come in. It's easier to show you how we've done it with very early companies, such as Woodside. So if this works, we should see a short video.
I know you, friend. I know every meter, every gap, every specification. I know every metric unit of pressure imposed on your 119,000-ton frame and how it will react to the extreme conditions here on the remote northwest shelf. I know what a team of engineers in Norway reported on you and what a retired project manager documented on you a decade ago. I know fuel mixtures and flow rates, hard data and soft data. I know all this because we're designing a cognitive system with IBM Watson that consumes and learns everything written or reported about you from millions of files, decision logs, and technical evaluations spread across our company. We teach Watson to think like an engineer. Watson teaches us to think like 1,000 engineers from 1,000 different sources. I know temperatures and pressure gradients, anomalies and patterns. When you succeed, I will know why. I will know how. With Watson, we're asking more questions because we have more answers. We're making smarter decisions because we learn more every time we make one. And I know we're just getting started.
So there we have it, slipping the word cognitive into the conversation. What does it mean? This is about the way that we're using computers to support human level of intelligence with easy access to information. Now, I've been in analytics for a long time, working for IBM 10 years now, so I've seen every kind of analytical project you can get and worked on some good ones, and we've had some tough times. But when I saw this idea of cognitive access to information and taking the Watson machine that we entered in 2011 into a game show competition called Jeopardy, where it responded like a human and answered questions correctly and won the game. We thought, well, can we take this into an industrial context? And I was as cynical as all of our customers. So we're now getting to the point where guys like Sean here are going to the press to say it exceeded our expectations and is now being used as a knowledge base that in his case allows his top 400 engineers to get access to the real-time information that allows them to do their job more effectively. And whilst it's not quite as grand as flying a solar plane around the world, helping an oil rig operate more effectively is beginning to allow this industry to clean up its act. So if you're still cynical, maybe we'll show you the system. Let me run this one. This is a live demo, live demo that we recorded of what it's actually like to have a cognitive system. There's a lot of hype and bots around. You can go on the Vodafone website, you can go on a banking website, RBS, and big British banks, and talk to them and ask questions about your bank, but this stuff is manufacturing engineering related.
How can I help you?
What is your name?
My name is Willow. You will have to come up with something tougher than that if you are trying to test me.
What is the maximum weight of a helicopter that can land on the Angel platform?
Here is what I found in the Woodside corpus.
How did you understand my question?
That's how it works.
Can you show me the evidence? Where is the Woodside Donaldson?
That's a ship. Real time.
Here is the ship information you were asking.
Zoom out. What is the water depth at the North Rankin platform?
Here is what I found in the Woodside corpus.
Okay, let's finish that there, please. Go to the next slide. You get the point here that you can now talk to the knowledge base of your entire industrial company's built-up, accumulated knowledge. And that's where we think the value of the human who knows what to do with it and the machine that's very good at the recall of it will combine to save jobs, to create new knowledge industries. But again, we're still talking about the level of the plane flying around the Earth using solar power. Let's just bring it back down to reality. What are we doing today that we all touch today in our own homes? And the very humble washing machine is my favorite example. We've done some work with Whirlpool, who had a problem with warranty recalls. It costs them $30 million a year to recall machines that have broken within the guarantee period. So the problem here is that, it cost them a lot of money, and they wanted to try and solve that. So they asked us to think about this, and we came up with this idea, including internet-connected washing machines and so on. So when you buy one now, you can hook it up to your Wi-Fi at home, and you can control it using an app, and it works fine. But it also allows, with permissions, the sending of usage data back to the company. And their first use case was to allow the engineers to understand the use of the washing machine. But the one that created the breakthrough was the scenario of the sale of the washing machine, which will create new work in the manufacturing industry by transforming a customer broken scenario of retailers selling the wrong machine into one where the company actually owned the customer. So the scenario, and I'll be very brief on this, is that Tobey, the Whirlpool sales rep, phones up the customer and says, "Hi, Eva, I need to talk to you about your washing machine. We've got some data here that tells us that we both have a problem. In your case, your washing machine is going to break in the next 3 weeks because there's something wrong with the filters and something wrong with the heating element. For our problem, well, we don't want you to have that problem. We want to look after you, so we're going to try and solve it in some interesting ways. Number one, I can send you right now some videos on how to fix your washing machine. That might be what you'd like. Number two, I can send an engineer in his van, and he'll come and fix it for you." And you might say, that's better because I don't want to get my hands dirty, but how much is that going to cost? Well, before I tell you the price for that, I'd like to explain option 3. Eva, when you bought the washing machine, 7-kilo model, about 6 months ago, you cycled it twice a week. Something happened 6 months ago. Maybe you started taking up a new sport, or you had children or something, but you're running that thing 3, sometimes 4 times a day. When you bought that machine, it was a budget model. It wasn't designed for that. It was designed to run really 2 or 3 times a week for 5 years, and then you scrap it. That's the way we sold that product. In fact, the retailer sold it. We wouldn't have sold you that product, so we're sorry. We want to rectify that. So we're going to come and take that machine away and give you the 15-kilo high spin speed machine that you'll only have to use once a day, and it'll be maintained for you, and it'll be the best machine you ever had. We don't want to lose you as a customer, because I know that if we didn't do this, in 3 weeks' time, you'd be driving home, you'd get a call, you'd find the machine has leaked, you've got to buy a new one, and you're going to be spending your summer holiday money on a new machine. Not happy scenario. You'll never buy another Whirlpool, would you? So what we're going to do is put in this new machine for you as an offer. It'll be 40 zlotys per month. It's not very much money, and that's mainly because we've cut out the middleman. We're keeping all of the money that in the olden days we had to give a third of our money to the retailer, and they're the guys who sold you the wrong machine. So we want to rectify all of these things and own that relationship with you and look after you. The other thing that I'd like to ask is, do you know anyone else who has any problems with their washing machine who would perhaps also like the right machine based on data analysis? So that's the pitch. So this is transforming the humble industry of Whirlpool washing machines. That's it. I'm out of time, but whatever your industry, we can find a way to use this new technology to make things better and to keep the employment of knowledge workers where I think it should be, because I am one. Thank you.